Oh, beautiful.
All right, we're back. Freedom, freedom, freedom. So thanks for coming back, everybody. I'm Brian Lewis, sitting in for Craig Sewing. We really appreciate Craig letting me take over the show and do something that has nothing to do with finance, real estate, or that arena. So we're here talking about freedom. We're here talking about Challenged Athletes Foundation. Have some great guests in with me, Captain Eric McElveny, Cameron and Alex Lujas, Dr. Jeff Kreb, and Travis Ricks coming up in a minute. So we want to get back to talking to you, Alex, about Cameron and about, prosthetics and challenged athletes. So at age 6 or 7, you made the decision to get him involved with the foundation. And how has that changed his life? I mean, how has that changed your guys' life?
Well, number one, he gets around a little too much. So now, back then we had to keep an eye on him quite a bit.
Right.
But which is all good. We used to have to tell him, come on, let's go. But now we're telling him to slow down.
Right. So it's freed you up.
Oh, it's
giving
freed
you
me
freedom
up a lot. Very short from just keeping him on a leash.
Right.
But
right.
he's active more so than he was before. And as I spoke earlier about the marathon that he does around where we live, him and his older brother, we said when you're 10 years old, we'll go ahead and start on the 5K.
Yeah.
And Cameron, this will be his third year doing the 5K up there where we live, and he broke his time by 15 minutes, or he beat his time by 15 minutes on his second year prior to the first.
Wow.
So he's got to beat 55 or 54 minutes this year. So
Diamond League, here I come.
Yeah, he's shooting for 45 to 48.
Yeah.
So, with that, it's given him the opportunity to go ahead and make different goals.
Right.
Which some of the kids at his age think a goal would be something for soccer.
They have, yeah, right.
So at this point, he's got his goals, his different goals that he wants to do within his life now and within the future.
Very, very impressive. So I just want to get back to the audience and just let you know that we've been talking about the MDC, which requires a big amount of fundraising. We've been talking about the San Diego Triathlon Challenge, which started it all. Just to give you a little bit of history about Challenged Athletes Foundation, it was started by 3 local people. 3 local guys in an effort to help out their best friend who was injured in a training accident, to help him rehab and buy a vehicle to get him to his next event. So, I mean, that was 20 years ago that this thing started, just 3 guys trying to raise, I don't know, a few $1,000s to help a buddy out. And now it's turned into this organization that is just around the globe. You see Challenged Athletes Foundation events happening all over the place. There was just a big event in New York City, but you don't. If you want to get involved, it doesn't have to be the ride down the coast that you have to raise $10,000 or $12,000 for. It can be something as small as the Triathlon Challenge, which you don't even have to do the whole thing. You don't have to do the swim, the ride and the run. You can do a relay, which is really fun. I did a relay last year with 2 people, and it's only $600. You only have to raise $600. Of course, if you want to raise more, that's great. And once, like Dr. Jeff was saying, once you do one event, you're hooked. You'll come back and do all kinds of other things. And we're going to talk more about what the programs are and what the events are that are coming up after the next break. But again, if you want to learn more about the events, or want to donate, just text the word donate to 619-300-5032. So, Cameron, you 12-year-old devil, you. How's it going, buddy?
Good.
Good. Thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
So you're going to do the kids run. That's really, really cool. You've done that several years in a row. Before the show, when you guys were out in the hallway talking about SeaWorld, tell me about SeaWorld. What's going on there?
Well, when I'm older, I would like to be a trainer at SeaWorld because it's just something that it would entertain me, and it's a job that I would want a job that I would like to go every day and not be happy about it and not just say, oh, this again.
Yeah.
it's something to look forward every day to.
Wow, Cameron, words of wisdom from a 12-year-old. That's something everybody out there can take heed to. If you're not happy doing what you're doing, then something's not right. You should be happy. So you seem like a pretty happy kid. So trainer at SeaWorld. Wow, that's a pretty big goal, but you think you're going to get there?
Yep.
Yeah, I think you will. And I'm going to buy tickets to come see you. Cool. So you're doing the kids run. And are you going to come back down for the San Diego Triathlon Challenge?
Yep, I go every year.
Every year. Good. So what are you going to do this year?
I'm thinking about the swim, and I'm doing the kids run.
Great, great. So for our audience out there, one of the highlights of the Triathlon Challenge, the bike ride comes down the coast and comes into the cove, and then that weekend kicks off this. It's really like a whole weekend event of things that happen at the Challenge Athletes Foundation headquarters, which, by the way, is right here in Mira Mesa. Founded by Denny and Jeff Jacobs. It's a great facility, open to the public. You want to come in, you meet athletes training in there on any given day. So, the highlight, one of the highlights for me of the event at the Cove at La Jolla Cove for the Triathlon Challenge is the kids. And the kids go out first. They go out on a swim. Some of them by themselves. Some of them with buddies. And if that doesn't get you motivated to get involved, to do something to help these kids out, I don't think anything else will. And that's the beauty of Challenge Athletes Foundation, is that you can, like Dr. Jeff was saying, you actually see your money at work. And even if it's not money, if you don't have any money, if you just come down and be a swim buddy, or just come down and you could ride a stationary bike to raise money. There's all kinds of things you can do to get involved. I get my wife involved. She's a chiropractor. There's just all kinds of things. There's support systems that need to be in place for all the athletes as they're training. So think about that. And so we're going to see a lot of you, I think, Cameron, in the future. And I'm happy to hear that you're going to be the star event at SeaWorld. Congratulations in advance. Is there anything else you want to say while you're on air?
No, I think I'm good.
Say hi to your big brother.
Hi, Jeremy.
Anybody else?
Hi, Mom.
I couldn't let you go off air without saying hi to Mom. Yeah, good. So with that, I want to bring in our next guest, and that'll take us into the end of the show. Just reminding everybody, if you want to learn more or you want to donate, text the word donate to 619-300-5032. So talking about freedom, talking about Challenge Athletes Foundation, bringing in our next guest. I don't even know where to start with your titles. So my next guest is Travis Ricks, and he actually is a challenged athlete, works at Challenge Athletes Foundation. So we're going to learn a lot about what's going on at the foundation, what's coming up, how you can get involved. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm the Senior Programs Manager at Challenge Athletes Foundation. I am a challenge athlete. So I kind of get the best of both worlds.
Challenge that, and a challenge athlete, and new title is model.
Yeah, doing some leg modeling.
Leg modeling, perfect.
Yeah, it's a great thing being a part of all this. I mean, hanging out with Cameron and Eric and all these guys is great. So thanks for having me here.
You're super involved. I know you coach kids wrestling as well.
Yeah, I'm a wrestling coach here locally in San Diego. I coach the actual high school I went to, so I coach my alma mater, and really enjoy doing that. It's one of the ways I like to give back to the community.
Very cool.
One of my true loves of sports is wrestling, so I do that, and I do a lot of other sports still myself. So
right. So tell us your story. How did you what happened to you? How did you become disabled, and what attracted you to Challenge Athletes?
Yeah, I was 17 years old. I was an athlete looking to actually head to college for a wrestling degree. I'm a wrestling scholarship, and ended up finding out I had cancer my senior year, and was fighting that. Needless to say, I lost scholarships, lost my identity in a sense, and tried to deal with the whole cancer thing, beat the cancer, and 4 years later, I ended up having some staph infections in the knee replacements that I had, and fought those for 2 years. Finally made a decision after 16 open knee surgeries to amputate and just kind of move forward with my life. Figured we'd get rid of the the problem and see what happens. And
Right.
didn't think there was much left for me, in the sense of sports.
Right.
At that point, was pretty depressed at the time because it was truly who my identity was being an athlete. My mom found a guy on the internet. His, he had an interesting website called onefootloose.com. He happened to live 3 blocks away from me.
Wow.
Yeah, it was almost like it was meant to be.
Serendipity.
And he ended up working at Challenge Athletes Foundation.
No kidding.
He was a below-the-knee amputee. It was the first amputee I'd met since I lost my leg. And, he really showed me there's a whole new world out there, opened a lot of doors,
Yeah.
introduced me to CAF and what could be possible. And
Right.
although I hated running, he convinced me to get my first running leg. And I have to say,
That makes 2 of us.
my first run was not quite as good as Cameron's last run. I think it was a little over an hour, so for a 5K. So I had a lot of learning to do, but
Yeah.
it's been a great road.
Well, it's a good story to hear. It sounds like it was a big emotional process, and I think that's one of the messages we want to get out to everybody in San Diego today is that, life doesn't end because you lose a limb or because you're disabled. And there's a ton of emotion, whether it's an incident that happens in war, or you're born with it, or it happens to you in the middle of your life and it changes everything. There's a support system available right here in San Diego for you, and it changes lives. I mean, that's one of the mottos of the foundation: change gears, change lives. And I use it every day. How are you going to change somebody's life today? How are you going to affect somebody's life in a positive way and give instead of constantly be receiving? So I appreciate your story. I appreciate you coming on. And we're gonna head to another break. And when we come back, we're going to talk to you more about the events that are coming up and how you can truly become a part of the organization and contribute. We'll be right back.
Sewing.
Don't forget, Craig is San Diego's #1 consumer advocate. If you have any real estate or financially related needs, make sure you visit Craig online at craigsewing.com. That's craigsewing.com. Visit Craig today.